So get this, then she asked me, and I said, well, I'm more of an iOS 16 type of guy. Oh, there is good news, though. There's really good news for iOS 16 and WWDC in general. We have a ton to talk about today, as always, so let's go ahead and jump in. There's no time for an intro. I'm gonna just steamroll into the first story because I'm genuinely so excited. Believe it or not, we are just about half a month away at this point, which feels insane because it seems like it was just months ago and we hadn't heard anything, and now it's just a couple of weeks away, and I feel like something special is happening this year just because there is that in-person component. And I guess I should just tell you guys, instead of keeping this a secret, I'm going. Like, I applied to go and they accepted me, so I'm gonna be at Apple Park at WW. I'm like looking around the room for someone to be like, wake up, or like, no, this is a joke. And that's why I haven't said anything, because I've known for like a week now. I just don't, like, I'm going to Apple Park. I'm probably gonna meet my dad, Tim Cook, and let's just go into the news. Let's just all sit on this and sort of a mind meld to learn how to feel about this together, because there have been some amazing updates. Number one, it is looking super likely that we're going to see hardware at WWDC. First of all, apparently there is evidence in iOS 15.5 of the firmware supporting unreleased Macs. Mark Gurman apparently got the scoop that there is stuff in iOS 15.5, and we don't have screenshots or anything, but considering we've heard new Macs are coming and iOS 15.5 is just around the corner, you see how these two things line up? And a quick update, since recording this, Apple actually dropped iOS 15.5 along with a ton of other updates. tvOS, watchOS, macOS, the HomePod software, everything has an update. If you own an Apple product made in the past 5 years, just check settings and you'll see it there. Nothing too crazy in any of these here, other than the Studio Display finally got a firmware update, which should make it look a little bit better for the camera, which has been an issue since the launch. And then also the podcast app is a little bit better. Oh, and there's also been a ton of security fixes, which makes it a really good idea to update as well. 9to5Mac had a great story really highlighting this and pointing out all of the changes. So it's a good idea to update. I mean, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir here, like you guys know that, but just wanted to let you know all this stuff is actually out and you can update. On top of that though, in Gurman's latest newsletter, he doubles down on this and says there's going to be new software, but also other products announced at WWDC. And obviously, I guess other products could be some new software, but considering that Gurman has said new Macs are coming now and then says there's products coming at WW, like, again, you don't have to be a genius here. Just kidding, you should be a genius if you watch the podcast every week. If you watch the Genius Bar podcast, the link is down below to the latest episode. It's a good one. Every episode's a good one. Watch my podcast. I don't know. I'm at like an 8 for hardware, okay? And if I am at Apple Park and I get to see this hardware after it is announced, boy, I'm gonna lose my mind. I can't get too excited. It's not by any means confirmed that hardware is coming. I'm just saying, I love connecting the dots. It's like my favorite thing to do when we finally get the through line. And I'm just saying hardware, I'm starting to see the through line. That being said though, of course, WW is a software event. And historically and currently, it is my favorite event of the year. Like, obviously, I love the iPhone stuff. It's great. I'm more than stoked for the 14 later this year. But I love software. I love the idea that through an update, my phone that I already own just gets better for free. Unless, of course, it was an old iOS update in which Apple charged, which is real, by the way. A lot of people forget this. Like, if you're not an OG, Apple used to charge money to get iOS updates early. It was crazy, and yes, I bought every single one. Luckily, iOS 16 is, of course, going to be free, and Mark Gurman, again, who is just the star of the show lately with these scoops, has finally given us our best idea yet of what iOS 16 really is. Because that's been the question. Is it going to be another super small update that was clearly affected by the virus like iOS 15, or is it going to be something palpable, something legitimate, and dare I say just something fresh? To be upfront again, there's not going to be a redesign. This is not going to be like a new iOS 7 where everything looks different, but based on what I'm seeing here, it sounds like it's going to be maybe the biggest update since then. Gurman says there's going to be major changes across the system, new ways of interacting with iOS, which that one's really interesting because I don't even know what that means, but I'm like, if Apple thinks there's a new way to interact, I don't know. It sounds kind of cool. And then also some new Apple designed apps. So no redesign, but also big changes pretty much everywhere. I mean, I'm sort of struggling how to feel here because on one end, I feel like sometimes the reporting on iOS it's a miss, like we don't exactly get it. On the other hand, considering how small last year's update was and even how the follow-up updates to iOS 15 have been really tiny, I would hope that we get this. I hope that there's something big coming, and it looks like we could be. So, like, very good news. Objectively, I'm just skeptical because of how last year was just so bland. And then for the watch, Apple's apparently got a major watchOS 9 update too, which is again incredible considering that I don't ever remember a notable watchOS update. Every year, I feel like they're just sprinkling in the bare minimum to make it moderately new. But just like in iOS 16, I'm looking for something unique. I'm looking to experience something I haven't experienced before. And I'm just really hoping we get that because yeah, of course the iPhone is maturing and getting slower, but there's no reason the software has to. There's no limit there. Listen, man, I'm just stoked to see what they've been up to because I feel like the software has been so quiet and boring. And I know that the engineers are getting paid lots of money to do something. And I hope that they've not been just playing Minecraft all day with it. But if there is an Apple Park Minecraft server, like slide me those details, I will be Steve Jobs too. They will never know that it's me. Aside from that, the only other thing I wanted to touch on is more news about USB-C on the iPhone, which we've been talking about quite a bit. But apparently Apple's planning a larger transition sometime in the next couple of years in the near foreseeable future with all their other Lightning products. Wilman Chi tells us that the Magic Mouse, Magic Keyboard, Magic Trackpad, MagSafe battery pack, AirPods, all of the accessories essentially that use the Lightning port, Apple is going to switch to USB-C, which says volumes to me. It'd be one thing if Apple just put USB-C on the iPhone, but to now be standardizing everything with USB-C,
you know, as it should have been for the past 8 years.
Apple is apparently nixing the Lightning port on everything. And again, I wouldn't expect that this year, but the fact that they're planning accessories for USB-C to Lightning, the fact that they're switching everything at once, like I really think it's happening. I really think we're ready USB-C. So more good news there. This is like a really good episode. I love when we have fun things to talk about. I feel like for so long, it's just like, this is bad, this is okay, this is bad. This is all hype, bro. I hope you guys are doing well. I can't wait for Dub. Stay tuned here for, of course, all the updates is the #1 spot for Apple News. Listen, I've been Sam. I hope you're doing well. God bless each and every single one of you. And, that was weirdly. Okay, we're ending the video. I'll see you guys later. Bye.